Hello there guys, it's Marcia and welcome back to another video review. I'm just gonna give this a pretty quick kind of update, like a week later, what do I feel about using the Sony WF-1000XM3s. And it's been a pretty interesting week. So before I've used the WF-1000XM3s, I was daily driving the Airpods Pros. This is what I would say as a pretty good kind of earbuds. It's worth the money. You know, it's like a $250, like 1,000 ringgit here in Malaysia. The ANC is good. The ambient sound, oops, yikes. The ambient sound is so natural, but I cannot use these AirPods because for me the sound quality is not good enough. I feel like it's lacking something. It's not good enough for me. But the availability of wireless charging is such a good you know, kind of extras. Okay, so I almost forgot. I was editing the video and I saw that I was explaining about the ANC and transparency mode on the Apple and how good it was. I forgot to mention how good this is too. So generally the ANC on the Sony is better for me, but I kind of miss having a natural ambient mode. The transparency on the Sony is amplified, which I think is a good one because it means that, you know, you can hear your surrounding even better. But I think having to have like a natural ambient mode and just forget that you're wearing earbuds is kind of cool. But overall, I think the ANC on the Sony is a way much more better ANC than the Apple, but the ambient mode is kind of hit or miss. If you want the much more amplified noise, then Sony's better, but if you want the much more natural sound, then the Apple's better. Okay, continue. Now, I've used the WF-1000 with a mindset that I want to replace the Apple AirPods completely, and I think I'm replacing my Apple AirPods completely. So if you can see here, my WF-1000 have a skin on it. I didn't put a good job on it at all. Actually, it's so horrible. I did this at like 3 a.m. I just woke up. I'm like, I'm excited, let's do it. And you know, it's a bad idea the moment I put it on. But overall, it looks fine enough that from afar, you know, like that, you won't notice. It still looks good, you know. That's the point. And on the inside, it has it too. But with the mindset of using this is to completely replace the AirPods Pro, I think it did it. I think I won't be using the Apple AirPods Pro anymore. And a lot of people complain that the Sony's WF-1000 has a kind of an ugly design or something that's not streamlined. And for me, I think that's a bit wrong. Excuse me. It mostly goes to personal preference, right? For me, the Sony WF-1000XM3s fits very nicely on my ear. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the tri-point of connections, or I don't know, maybe the tip design, but this fits very nicely in my ear. They are so good. Not focusing. Camera. There we go. It's very comfortable, and yes, it does hurt after like 3 or 4 hours, but it hurts after 3 or 4 hours on the AirPods Pro for me as well. Maybe that's just my ear. And then people keep saying that the Apple AirPods Pro is smaller, Sony's case is so much bigger. And yes, when you put this side by side, it looks like the meme of "Don't you dare talk to me or my son ever again." But unless you are a girl who wears skinny jeans that doesn't have pockets, or you're just a skinny jeans user, or you just want something small, then sure, by all means, go ahead. Apple AirPods, good. But I don't care. My pocket still fits the WF-1000, and because my wallet is in my back pocket, this thing sits in my front pocket with no, you know, problem, and I'm fine with that. I don't think the size is a big deal, even though yes, you can go for a smaller body. Now, the thing that I've been really hating from the WF-1000XM3s for me is the lack of wireless charging. I don't know why Sony couldn't fit it. I think it's big enough. That is it full of battery in there? I don't know, or maybe there's just no spot, because look at how deep that goes, right? I'm gonna guess it's because it's such a deep spot that it goes through here for the earbuds alone, that it doesn't have a spot. But man, I wish there's wireless charging somehow, because that would be so good. Now, physical experience, all that. I'm gonna talk about sound quality. And for me, sound quality has been a no competition. There's no way I will ever say that the AirPods somehow beat the WF-1000, because it won't. The WF-1000 is on its own league. This is such a good sounding earbuds. Now, in a disclaimer, I've tried the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless Surround. That's the first generation of the Momentum 2s, and I've also tried in Bang & Olufsen E3s, third generation. And yes, those have good sounding earbuds. The Momentum, for example, sounds amazing. But for a general package, I cannot justify the price of purchasing Momentums or Bang & Olufsen's compared to the Sonys. Now, the Sony isn't perfect. The lack of wireless charging is a big deal for me, actually. But aside from that, maybe the size is too big for some people. Maybe it's not, like symmetrical for some. I don't know. But generally, I don't think this is perfect. I don't think this is perfect either. But sound quality is so good without using EQ. When I use EQ on this puppy, man, it blows Apple right away. Like, there's no competition here for me. Again, personal preference. Audio is wow. Whoa. Audio is very subjective, right? And again, personally for me, I don't think there's a competition here. I think Sony is so good in so many ways, and the bass is there, the vocal sounds amazing, the instrument separation sounds amazing. But again, if you compare it to the true Momentum Wireless or Bang & Olufsen, there's no competition there. But generally speaking, for these two, I like the Sonys a lot more. And when you pumped up the EQ, when you put my favorite EQ for the Sony WF-1000 has to be the excited EQ on the WF-1000XM3s with my genre of songs full of rock, pop, and J-pop and all of those. It's so good. It's actually amazing to listen to the Sony WF-1000. The bass is even more punchier now. The vocals are even more better. And if you compare the EQ on the Apple, again, I have an iPhone 8, so I have access to all of the EQs. It's okay. The bass boost EQ is pretty fine, but everything else is kind of mediocre to me. It's kind of meh. It's kind of lacking. But yeah, especially if you don't use Apple and you use an Android device, it's even less of a hope for you because there's basically no EQ. But you can download an app called Wavelet, very cool. And yeah, so sound quality, again, amazing. Now we're gonna talk about connectivity. I'll give Apple the huge win here. The problem with the Sonys that I've been having, it's not consistent. It's not consistent at all for me to be like, oh, this is a deal breaker. But it's enough for me to mention it in this video, being transparent. So the Sony WF-1000XM3s has the issue where it's connected. Okay, it is connected, and it has that in-ear detection thingy right there. You see this, so that it knows when it's in your ear or when it's not in your ear, all of that. And the problem I face with these Sonys is sometimes when you wear it, it doesn't play. You need to put it back in the case, put it back out. But that only happens so minor. It's not enough for me to not use the Sony at all, but it's there. I've had it for a while. And then the Apple is basically, like, it's so good. It's flawless. You can use it on your Apple device, even better. For your iCloud, you have like tons of Apple devices, even better. But overall, I think it's a good package. But if you come to here and like, if you're coming here just immediately saying Apple is better than Sony without even trying, and only because you saw that how big and ugly the Sony case is, again, subjective. Like, you look at the Sony, you're like, oh, it's so big, must have been a bad earbuds, then you're wrong. It's very sad that that's the kind of conclusion I've seen. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos because I want to justify to purchase this, and this is expensive earbuds, by the way. $250, $230, like, alone they're almost $1,000 for me. That's a lot of money. I mean, not $1,000. No, 2,000 Malaysian ringgit. Sorry, 2,000, almost 2,000. It's expensive, so I need to justify the price on which one's better. But every time I look at this kind of comparison, it's always Apple and some of them has a pretty solid reasoning. They say that the Sony sounds better, but overall they always just pick Apple because it's a much better package. Then sure, but there's still some comparison. I won't name names, of course, but they're like, oh, the Sony is so ugly because of this copper lid, or with the how big the case is. It's dumb. It's stupid. It's not mature. Probably don't know anything about audio. But yeah, I think personally I love both of these. I don't know if I want to sell my AirPods or not, because this is such a good earbuds. But after 1 week, safely I safely can say that the Sony will stay in my pocket for now. I'm not planning on changing to another earbud soon, but it's a fun ride. I think I'm fortunate enough to try both of these, and if you guys own any of this device, the Apple AirPods or the Sony's WF-1000, feel free to let me know. I would love to hear your opinion on the device itself. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy these videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. A quick one before that. There's a new video coming soon, and I won't tell you what it is, but it's another earbuds comparison and an earbuds review. So subscribe if you're interested. Leave a like down in the description below. Ask me anything in the comment. I always try to answer it as fast as I can. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.
She calls me day and night. I'm sorry, girl, you just don't make me feel right.